Does Eris truly understand that as a man, the peaceful household and peaceful environment that he claimed he wanted is not only something to be wanted, but also something to be valued?
I don't think so because he's been a bachelor for a long time. The man is 40 years old. He knows how to pivot. Decision he has made was not based on anything else but what he is accustomed to and what he's attracted to. And that the foundation of someone he should be with was ignored because of that attraction.
Mm. Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about Lifetime Network's reality-based TV series, Married at First Sight, season number 16, episode number 20.
But before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Please click that notification button so you know when we upload new content. And please send your comments. The night before decision day, Iris is packing up. Jasmine is telling him he's going to miss him, but she's happy to be alone. She said she's at peace with the decision she's about to make.
Yeah, Jasmine also said that she has had a lot of fun in this process with Eris as well. And that's a reason for them to stay together and specifically for her to say yes. A reason, not the reason, a reason.
You can have fun with anybody, but there's a whole lot more that's needed than just fun.
No question. And, the flip side of that was that Eris kind of admitted going out the door that, even though he's kind of made things difficult for their relationship and specifically for Jasmine, he felt like he and Jasmine were in a good place and good space.
Yeah, he said he learned a lot about himself. He articulates that Jasmine is a good person, a good woman. He had a good time and he knows she put 100% into their relationship. Aries showed up in a cranberry, sort of double-breasted, gold gold shirt. He reminded me, back in the day in the club,
All he needed was the lid. That's all he needed. The lid.
these old
Matching
school
lid.
these old school players in the club trying to check for you, but you don't have time for them because they look old and they look tired
And they've
and they
known him
look out of place. But that's what it reminded me of.
that it was 1980-ish, maybe.
90 is about,
Yeah, 80s, 90-ish. It wasn't what I was feeling or thinking that he would show up in the 2020s, right?
it wasn't modern. Jasmine, however, looked gorgeous in that deep
Blue.
green.
Was it a blue or
It
green?
was green.
Was it?
That deep green dress that she had
Yeah, I
on.
thought her
She
dress
looked
hookup was,
fantastic.
yep, was on.
Hair and makeup, everything. The beauty queen showed up. The experts were talking about how Eris had sort of switched it up. Looked like he was learning something and they were coming together
He was saying all the right things.
and they were hopeful. Jasmine went first and she said that while she had fun in this process, she learned a whole lot. Eris is not the person for her, so she will sign up for divorce. And I was happy for her.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for whoever got in her ear to change that narrative up that she got to change for him. She was dragged for basically 8 weeks, and that could do a whole lot to your psyche. And I'm glad at the end of it, she decided that she can choose herself.
She said she had no regrets because she was honest. And she knew that she had given all that she had to the process, all that she had to him under the circumstances, and was at least true enough to herself to honor that.
They were not equally matched at all.
Yeah, and that's why there was a sense of peacefulness,
Yes.
calmness in terms of her state of mind heading into decision day. That's got to be a reassuring feeling, to her that yeah, I know I made the right decision. I can move on with a clear conscience because of what I knew I gave into it, and that ironically was something that Eris decided was something that he didn't need.
So now we go back to the women went out to that club. Jasmine met someone who was also a breeder, and I think he was a trainer or boxer or something like
Right.
that. Next week we see the brother shows up and they're kissing. So she had a wingman that she immediately
Kind of
pivoted
pivoted
to.
too.
And I'm saying, my God,
Mm.
baby girl, don't take no
She
downtime.
ain't wasting nothing, did she?
No,
She's serious with it.
no downtime. No, she was on the ready set. So a man is already in the wings.
Wow. You know what was interesting about how Ayers handled this? I think that he is somebody who did not understand that what he said he wanted and needed was right there in front of him, and he didn't know how to deal with it. So he made excuses about being in his own head enough to kind of thwart the process, especially at the very beginning, and then was kind of called out on it by Pastor Cal and by Devon Franklin about, hey, look, what are you putting into this is not 100% right now, like it is your work, and you're going to regret it. And I believe that he may not be at that point now, but at some point in time in the future, he's going to regret his decision, even though it wasn't meant to be. He's going to regret it because he knows that he didn't put in his maximum effort, which marriage requires.
Perhaps in the future for Eris, he is gonna have a reset so he can come to an alignment with what he wants versus what he needs.
He said in many respects that Jasmine was the personification of what he needed,
Hmm.
but that's not what he chose.
Right.
So I'm like, okay,
While the other head was talking, the other head had more power over
his decision making.
his decision making
Well,
process.
I'll say
That's
this:
what happened.
if that's the case, that he listened to the wrong one, and it's going to he did so at a cost.
Yes.
He did so at a cost, and because of that decision, he is going to have at least he may not ever admit it publicly, um, lingering regrets because there were so many attributes and characteristics that she had that were personified in Jasmine that he just kind of like I don't want to say blew off, but he did not value enough to warrant him, staying in the relationship.
Eris came to this situation not really serious about showing up in a real way. His heart wasn't really fully invested in this. That's why he didn't bring a lot. He's invested in his work because that's where he gets his uh, uh
Fulfillment,
sorry,
fulfillment.
fulfillment, and he's invested in what's in the streets, but he wasn't able to make the transition, taking all the advice that he got, learning more about himself. It's a puzzle for him still, and he hasn't put the pieces together in the right way. So that's why he was not ready. I say good for him that he didn't attach himself to Jasmine in the way that he feels right now for their relationship to be a mess, because there will always be that tug for him being on the streets as opposed to being with her.
Yeah, I understand what you said, but didn't he say that it was nice having somebody to come home to? That whenever he had to go away for um, work or whatever, that when he came back, he actually realized that he had missed his wife.
He's saying all the right things the last 4 weeks or 3 weeks, but he's not doing it.
It seems like he's actually making strides in the right direction. He's actually doing what he said he was going to do. She did say that on a couple of different occasions.
She did say that. That's why I believe someone got in her ear to say, hey, this is not good for you. This dude is
Okay.
not going to work out for you. So she was strong enough to hear whatever wisdom that she was told. But if Jasmine was left alone, she would have continued this process that would have crushed her eventually in the end. And I'm happy that did not happen.
Well, I'm happy that she said no to. I just feel like, yeah, Aaron's probably learned a whole lot more than he even revealed about not only himself but also what may be required moving forward for him in an effort to be married legitimately. Okay.
Yeah, and I think Jasmine, while she made a good decision for herself, she got to be careful because this refrain she got about falling in love easy, it's gonna create problems if she doesn't check that.
decision day that I thought they might make it, or there was enough there that they had worked on recently to give it a go, and I was wrong.